At this point in my life, I've gotten so carefree. Like, I really feel like a fucking artist.
I just wanna freak you.
Hi Lizzo.
Hey.
I really want to talk to you about Missy Elliott.
Okay.
Because you tweeted, she's our fearless leader. She cut through the thickest of the musical landscape and brought us to the futuristic, smooth, syncopated land of Missy. And you collaborated with her. Mm-hmm. What was it like working with her?
I remember when I met her, I was so nervous. I was like shaking in the studio before, and I was like, oh my God, what's it gonna be like? And I had like butterflies. And then after meeting her, I still couldn't believe I met her. So now that she's on my song, it could just be a ghost voice for all I know, because I haven't registered it, but I am about to shoot the music video. And I think that's when it's gonna hit me. When me and Missy are in a video together, I'm gonna be like, oh my God, and I'm gonna just go in the fetal position and cry.
And can you take me back to the first moment you heard a Missy song or saw a Missy video?
I don't know, I just remember, oh my gosh, She's a Bitch, maybe? The video where she had, it's like the all black, and the all black kind of like nylon shiny ground, and then she had the ocean behind her with all the dancers. That shit was crazy. I remember being like, what the hell? And Sock It To Me. That was a big one too. I don't know which one came first, but Sock It To Me was big because she was dressed as Mega Man. Listen, I could go all day. I remember the trash bag, and I remember being like, wow.
Did you want to do it too?
I did not want to wear a trash bag. My aesthetic is a little different than Missy's, but that is the most iconic thing anyone has ever done.
Mm-hmm. And you were just talking about her being a representation for a lot of women, and you are too, because I was reading a lot of the Facebook comments when you dropped your album cover, which is amazing, by the way. And somebody commented, your video make me look at my fat body in a whole new light. Seeing you so confident and in love with yourself reminds me that I've got the gorgeous fat thighs to jiggle and that softness and every right to love myself too. Seriously, I never thought my fat thigh rolls were so sexy until seeing you loving yours. Thank you for showing me how to love myself better.
Your fat thigh rolls. My fat thigh rolls. Oh my God, that's sweet.
But this is just one of them.
Yeah.
How does all these comments make you feel?
I don't read the comments.
You don't?
No.
Why?
Because I feel like if I saw one negative comment, it would ruin my day, and I don't want my art to ruin my day. And I think it's important to me to continue to do this for myself and not for anyone else. Like, I love that I'm helping people out, and I love that people are seeing themselves in me and feeling seen and represented and beautiful because of me. But also, if I start to get in my head about that, it's gonna compromise the art and compromise the purpose. I'm doing this to feel good about myself.
But when you Google your name, Lizzo, a lot of the headlines say body positive rapper or something political about it. Does that annoy you? Do you just want to be just Lizzo?
No, I don't get annoyed. I think my body's been politicized for a lot of reasons, because it's big, because it's female, because it's brown, it's American. My body's been politicized, and at the end of the day, that's what happens with black bodies. They get weaponized, they get hypersexualized, and I kind of learned how to just, that's something that you just have to get over, or else I will be just constantly arguing with people. At this point in my life, I've gotten so carefree. Like, I really feel like a fucking artist. You know, I'm past all of the bullshit at this point. I'm past trying to make any statement for anyone else or please anybody. Like, I've been doing this for a long time, and now I'm looking around and seeing that the world is caught up, and that makes me very happy. So now what's next?
Right.
How do we keep this message out there? How do we bring in the light? How do we make sure that people are just continuing to spread this message, that it's not a trend, that it's a part of the future, you know, that's embedded in culture, you know?
That it's here to stay.
All these body positive icons, how can they be fixated in the culture and just become a monolith or become a totem, you know, so we can have messengers of hope and light and for the future of these people growing up looking at, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Looking at them.
Yeah, and you said it's been a long road for you. I want to go all the way back to the beginning, because you grew up in a big musical family around a lot of sounds. What is your first musical memory?
I don't know. Gospel music was my first memory. Gospel music. We had a piano in the house in Detroit, and my sister played this song called My Name is Joe. And I remember that song, and I was like very young. I was like 6 or something, and she was like, my name is Joe. I live on the streets in a cardboard box underneath the freeway.
That is your first one.
That's my first musical memory. And I remember feeling so sad.
Sad?
Yeah, because he was on the streets.
So you did realize the lyrics.
Yeah.
Right.
I was young and I was like, underneath the freeway.
Yeah. Did you fall in love with music instantly?
No. I was very bookish. I was like very into like reading. I wanted to study science. I was really into rocks, astronomy. I was kind of more of a nerd than I was music inclined. I think I fell in love with music when I started playing the flute. And that was when I was like 12.
And then how do you go from flute to hip hop?
I mean, growing up in Houston, a rite of passage in Houston is to freestyle and bang on the desk with the, you know what I'm saying? Everybody would do the screwed up freestyles. It was really special, so that's what I did.
And something that really surprised me is that you used to live in your car for a year when you were 21. And
why you put my business out there?
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. I told everyone already.
What happened and what kept you going during that period?
So I was doing the Craigslist thing where I was like I lived with a bunch of people from Craigslist, and I would go around and I was in a rock band and I was getting very little money from that, and I had this car that my sister gave me, and I would drive around, and it was a really fucked up car. It was a Subaru, but I was really grateful for it, but the whole side of it was kind of caved in like that. Yeah. And so I was driving and no one could sit here and no one could sit there. You could only sit here.
Right.
And I was in this car and I was living with this one girl who, it literally went from her, she would talk to me every night. I didn't know her, but I moved in with her on Craigslist, off Craigslist. She would talk to me every night about this dude. She'd be like, I'm so fucking sick of his ass, I'm done with him, da da da. And I'd be like, cool, I was like proud of her. And then one day she came home, she was like, I need to talk to you, so I'm pregnant and you have to move out because that's the baby's room. Literally that day she was like, I know this is crazy, but you have to leave now. I remember I threw my mattress out the window and I left because she was kind of crazy. And I got in my car and I realized, oh shit, I don't got no more money. I don't got no job. And it was me in that car for the next...
For a year, right?
For the next year or so.
So what kept you inspired to keep going with your music?
I felt like it was the only reason why I was going through all that shit. At that point in my life, I had sacrificed a lot for music, and I was also at a point where I was almost crazy about music. Like I was like, yo, I have to do this. Like I had this one breaking moment where it's like, I have to be a singer. Like this is what I have to do. And so I was going through like the most to do it. Like that, anything for my dream type shit, hitchhike, fucking sing everywhere with anybody type of thing. I was doing that. And my mom was like, you can come back to Denver. And I was like, no, I have to do this. Like I was so determined. And it was like that blind ambition that I had that kept me through it. But I spent Thanksgiving alone in that car crying, and it was pretty sad.
Oh no. Well, it got you here.
It did.
Because now your new album is coming out, Because I Love You.
Yeah.
And when you listen to that album, you can hear like all the influences I just talked to you about, like gospel, the indie music from your sister, hip hop, your flute. Was it hard for you to combine all those sounds to one?
No, it's hard for me to get people to like all that shit. Because I can do it, that's what I do. But like getting people on board and getting it to be digestible and finding that sound that everybody can agree with is the Lizzo sound or is a Lizzo song, that was difficult. It took time.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's because people, you know, they need something they can reference. And I think that I was giving them too many different things. Like Coconut Oil literally had like a fucking gospel pop song. It had Good as Hell. It had Phone, which is like a dance fucking like reggae almost beat, or not reggae, but like dance hall beat. And then it was like Deep, which was like a fucking, sounded like, I don't even know. I had all these different styles. I had a trap song on there. And it's like, where's the common denominator here? And I was like, it's my voice. My voice is the common denominator, but I'm still giving you all these genres. So on this album, I really worked hard to make sure that the songs spoke louder than the production or the genre, so that the songs were like going as like a through line and telling this like story. I wanted you to be able to turn the music off and just hear the songs and love it the same. Right.
You had your listening party in a strip club. Why? Why that location?
Why not? This is Amsterdam. Y'all should know. No, I spent a lot of listening sessions in offices in like the middle of the day like this, playing my songs for people who listen to music all day, every day is their fucking job. And they're just like tapping their foot and looking around like that. And that shit was aggravating, period. So I was like, let me bring them into my world. And we did.
And then I just said, I follow you on Instagram. I saw you went to a sex show in Amsterdam.
I did.
How was it?
It was just fucking. They was just fucking. Like, I thought that it would be weird, but it wasn't. It was like, oh, this is just nature.
Right.
It was just, it was kind of pretty. It was really beautiful.
Really?
I think they were a couple. Because
the people on stage.
She sucked his dick and then they kissed passionately, and I thought that was really beautiful. And I was like, oh, they must.
Wow.
We must really know each other.
I mean, you really seem like a very sexually liberated person. Very comfortable also in your sexuality.
Not everything is as it seems.
So it isn't?
Girl, I don't know. I think that I just have a very kind of like raunchy sense of humor. And I think that I've created a really safety net or a safe space with my friends where we are really open with each other. We talk about everything. We talk about booty holes and, you know what I'm saying? We talk about like periods and what our pussy lips look like. We talk about all of that. And I think because we're so open with each other, like, when I put it on social media, people are like, oh my God, you know, and I think that I don't realize how, what's the word? I don't realize how shocking or how, you know what I mean? How shocking that might be to somebody who not in our world, but we just that's just how we talk. And I think that, you know, if we were taught to be that way when we were younger, a little bit more free and a little bit more understanding of what happens, because there's a lot that we don't understand until we get older. I think that like the way that we think about sex and the way that it's used would be different. I think better.
Yeah. Is it something that you're trying to change with your music, or is it just who you are?
You know, I just want to be like Missy. I want to be a big freak. You know, Missy just be a big freak on her songs. And I love that because I just thought that that was so just like, bitch, I don't need no minute man. Don't worry about who I'm sticking and licking, just mad it ain't yours. Like, that's my shit. And I think that that's my biggest flex that I can do in music. And to be honest with you, I was just talking about the shit that I'm trying to manifest. So I'm trying to have dudes eat my pussy all the time. So I'm gonna talk about it in my songs until I have a line outside this door of dudes trying to eat my pussy.
Right, speaking it into existence.
And girls.
Exactly. Lizzo, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
That was fun.
Thanks.